Hi there, welcome. So I'm gonna get ready to go paddle today, a fall color tour paddle. The skies are blue, there is no wind, and the temps are supposed to get up near 60 today. So for an October day, that is awesome. And I'm gonna go paddle the backwaters of Tippy because there's no wind. The backwaters is like a big lake actually, where of course the Tippy Dam is. So when it's really windy, I don't like to paddle out there because it's just really hard and there's lots of waves and stuff. So, but when it's a calm day, it's one of my favorite places to paddle, especially this time of the year because the colors are going to be spectacular and the whole backwaters is just encased, surrounded by these hills. So today what I'm packing, of course, I now wear the whole time is my PFD, of course. And then I've got these waterproof socks from Showers Pass. Now I found that the last time I paddled, they don't keep my feet really warm. They keep them dry. So today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a pair of wool socks underneath them and put these on top. And I'm hoping that that works, but they'll keep my feet dry. And then I'm wearing my Keen Polar Tech winter boots that lace up nice and tight to give me some added insulation for my feet. Usually I wear, sandals and stuff. And then my survival kit, my dry bag. What's gonna go on my dry bag today? I'm going to take, let me keep those out. I'm gonna need to take my space blanket, my emergency blanket. So I'll wrap this around me after I'm in my dry clothes. I've had these blankets put around me at the end of very cold, frigid Ironmans, and they work. So then I'll put my socks in, then my tights, then my shirt, and then last, because I want it first, is my extra towel. Now another thing that I'm taking today, and I'll put at the very top just in case because they're easy to just take out and throw out, is I'm going to take some hand warmers and some toe warmers. I'll put those in there. And then I'm going to take a lighter in case I have to start a fire. But these things I can just pull and throw right out to get to my towel. So I'm gonna have those at the ready. So that is what's going to be in my dry bag. That is my emergency kit. Now, I always take a fully charged charger, always. But when the temperature's lower and it's more of a critical issues, I always make sure I do not forget this and a charging cord. And then I'm taking a pair of warm gloves to paddle with. I need to get a pair of waterproof gloves yet for this kind of paddling. So we'll see. These worked last time for me. They got nice little grippers. I'm taking my headband and of course my cap, and I'm taking my extra paddling gloves in case my hands do get hot and I don't need those gloves. So those are going in my bag. My extra little hand towel that I always take. So this is all going in my paddling bag today. My cap. And then the other thing that I learned, I'm taking an extra fleece blanket. Now I'm not wearing my spray skirt today because it's really not that cold out. The air is not that cold. There's a bee in my car. Ah! I don't like killing bees, but get out. So I'm taking a fleece blanket today. Again, if there's an emergency, I'll have it. But I'll probably keep it out in my cockpit just to put on my legs, just in case. It is kind of chilly. But it's warm out right now, so I doubt I'll need it, but I'm gonna take it anyway. So that's my fleece blanket. And if I get to the river and it's really warmed up, I probably will put this in my hatch as well. So the other thing I did notice the last time we went paddling, just I think a week ago, my feet got cold. So I learned this trick from a very avid, very experienced paddler. And he said, just take something to just be a barrier between your feet and the bottom of your boat. So this is just a piece of a yoga mat that I just cut off, and it just sticks. It's non-slid on the bottom of my boat. My feet can go on. It's thin. One time I took something that was thicker and because my boat doesn't have a lot of wiggle room between the floor and the top of my cockpit, it made my toes go up just far enough to where I was crunched. So that wasn't very comfortable. So I've learned that I need something super thin. So I'm taking this along to put in the bottom of my boat to act as my barrier. So I've got everything done. I do own a very nice spray skirt. It's not that cold out right now. If it was, the air was even colder, I would wear my spray skirt. But I love the sun shining on me, and I want to take advantage of that as long as I can. So I am wearing tights, a pair of lined wool tights when I paddle. Of course, a fleece lined wool top, and I'll probably wear my puffy. I probably won't wear my puffy, but that's the other thing. When I get there, I'll put my puffy in my bag as well. Now that I packed it all, I have to unpack it and put it in there, whatever. I think that's it. I got a snack in there, my water. I've got my water bottles. I'm going to take my coffee thermos, of course. My sunglasses. I think I'm set. I think I'm ready to go. So let's shut this Subi down, shut this video down. I'll see you at the river. You can barely see it, but the water's ripples are reflecting in the trees up there. Isn't it just beautiful? This is probably one of my favorite type of fallscapes here in northern Michigan, is that we have an abundance of pine trees, different varieties of conifers, and when you have the hardwood sprinkled in among them, I just find that just dazzling, more so than if it was just all pure color. I just love it so much. Of course, pine trees are my soul tree, if you want to say that, but or if I want to say that. And here's a good example of it. It's just beautiful. And there's a lot of green left out there in the distant hills, so I think I have at least another week of fall paddling to enjoy the colors here on the river. I'm so excited. I hope you enjoy the scenery I'm sharing with you. Trumpeter swans. Well, that was a treat. I've never had them fly overhead like that. I don't even know how many there were, but I could hear a honk, and I could hear something coming behind me, and I thought, oh, it must be a gaggle of geese. But then I heard their wings really loud, and I heard the trumpets a lot more, so I got my camera out and was able to capture it. But that was really awesome, and they kind of circled around a little bit like they didn't know quite where to land or what, but that was really amazing. What a treat. And they all landed in that cove. Whoop. So where I've stopped at right here is called Government Island, and where I launch from right across over there, it's all I have to paddle to, is Government Landing. It's a cute little rustic campground. I think it's, I don't know, 8 to 10 campsites, and it's by reservation until Labor Day. I took a picture of a post for all these backcountry campsites, and you can Google backcountry camping on the Manistee River, and it'll give you all the campsites. And it seems like the post said you have to make reservations from Memorial Day to Labor Day. So then I think it's just a first come, first serve. There's two campers over there, and a couple of cars, I think, that are kayaking. I saw some fishing boats out there, and gosh, I had to take my long sleeve top off. This day has gotten to be super beautiful. It's got to be over 60 degrees out now, and the sun is just, oh, so lovely. And it's been a beautiful paddle. So I'm just stopping here at Government Island to have a snack and, of course, coffee. I only have to go across. I'll go across the way there. I was very short on time today. I only had a couple hours to be out, but you know what? A couple hours is a couple hours. So I'll take it, especially today when the conditions were so perfect to paddle the backwaters. You see how flat and glass-like the water was and the reflections? You don't get that very often here at the backwaters of Tippy, so I just jumped on it, and I'm so glad I did. So I'm going to enjoy my coffee and a snack and paddle out, and the next time I paddle, I'm going to paddle again in 2 days, and you'll see that coming up next. I'm not quite sure where my friend Benita and I are going to paddle. We'll probably do a longer paddle and take advantage. It's supposed to be 70 degrees out Saturday. So I think we're going to do a longish paddle that day. And I'll make sure I share that because that'll be coming up next. I think I'll just do a series of fall paddles just to kind of highlight the color and the river and all that stuff. So you saw the color today, so let's see what it's going to look like in 2 days. Thanks for watching so far, and hang tight because another paddle is on its way. Well, welcome again. So today, like I said, it's 2 days after that last paddle you just watched. So today, Benita and I are launching from Harvey Bridge. So we're doing the section of the Manistee from Harvey Bridge to Red Bridge. It's going to be about a 23-mile paddle, and today is going to require us to portage over Hoden Pile Dam, which is not a hard portage at all. The only part today that I'm a little nervous about is right after Harvey or Hoden Pile Dam. It's very fast, rocky, and tends to be a little shallow. So today the river is running very low. We have not had rain. The river is running so low. I've seen obstacles sticking out of the water on familiar sections that I usually don't see. So I'm very nervous about that stretch because it is so fast and rocky. But we'll just, do what we have to do. And then the other stretch I'm kind of worried about is right before you get to the backwaters. It's by the Rotary Park and Music. Very shallow, this little stretch. So whatever, we might have to get out of the boat if we bottom out and pull ourselves out. But I have the same things on I wore last time. I have my dry bag packed. I just kept it packed from previous paddle. So I have my waterproof socks on and my boots. And when I got out last paddle and had my break and I had to get in the water, I was fine. My feet stayed plenty warm and dry, so I'm not too worried about that. So it'll be a beautiful paddle today. I'm anxious to see how much the colors have changed in just 2 days and share this beautiful stretch of the river with you. So let's go paddle. Oh, look at all those reds and oranges. Beautiful. So that bridge is pretty low, as you could see. And me and Benita were just reminiscing when we paddled the Pier Marquette. Towards the end of our paddle, I think it was Old Indian Bridge, Old Indian Crossings, but we actually had to put our head between our legs in order to fit under this bridge. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if the river was really high and you come up on this bridge and you could not get through, I guess you would just have to back paddle like crazy and portage around it. But that bridge is low. It's brand new. And the river's low today anyway. But anyway, I've paddled underneath it many times and it's never been an issue. But it just made me remember paddling the Pier Marquette. That bridge was so low because I'm like, I held back and I was waiting for them to go and make sure they could fit. And before I even attempted it, because I'm like, what if you got stuck and all this stuff, you know? But we made it. But it just reminded me of that. So if you do the Pier Marquette River, be warned that the Old Indian Bridge or crossing, whatever, that bridge is very low to the river. Be prepared. So as you can see, there's a little bit of chop action going on. We're gonna, skirt the land. We're not getting too far away from shore. Not any big deal. I mean, it's just a little bit of chop. But it's gonna make for a challenging paddle. Just one stroke at a time. And that just reminded me of a funny story I want to share with you. Sometimes I delete these funny stories, but gosh, darn it, I'm just gonna keep them in. So I'm out paddling across the backwaters with another friend, and we got in here, and she's an avid rower, and there were, I'd probably say, I don't know, I'm not a good guy. I'm not a good person to know how tall the waves are or how big the chop is, 1 foot, 2 foot. But it was much bigger than this, and there's actually white caps, and the wind was just blowing from the west, and we're going into the west. And we're kind of separated. We're not paddling right beside each other, but all of a sudden I could hear her singing, and she's singing. And I'm like, hey, don't know her very well. We had just met. But I know me, when this shit starts getting really hard and I'm not having as much fun anymore, a lot of times I'll sing. And I'm like, okay, either she's singing because she thinks this is a riot, or she's singing because she is not having fun. And so I asked her about it, and she was singing because she was not having fun. Oh dear. But we can laugh about it now. But now if I'm with her and she starts singing, I'm like, oh, she's not having it. And she even has her famous thing when we've gone on long hikes, me, her, and Benita. She's like, I'm not having any fun anymore. Oh, she was a riot to hang out with. But it just brings back memories. And I've been paddling through the backwaters with two of my guy friends that when we did the through paddle. There, one guy, Jimbo, he's in a fishing kayak. And then Jason's in a 10-foot river kayak. And it was white capping with it. And I'm in, not this boat, I was in my other kayak at the time, which is another eddy line, and it's 14 foot, and it's a little narrower and steeper than this one, so I was just like having fun. I was slicing through the waves and bucking around and giggling almost, probably. And them boys were not having fun. They were way back there. So, you know, the backwaters, it's beautiful, but if it's in the not the best conditions to paddle through here, you just got a heads up, because I've been out here and the waves are get serious. It's like this big lake, and so this little bit of chop is nothing. It just, gosh, you know, you do so many adventures with people and stuff. Isn't it the shitty times that brings the best laughter and that makes the best memories? So we're going to keep paddling, stick kind of close to shore, and just put one paddle in front of the other and enjoy the surrounding beauty. And I'll share more with you. We're making our way to Hoden Pile Dam. Well, we're almost halfway through, and that was a workout. I had to put my phone away because the chop got so big and my phone was getting wet. But we've got, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so ready to be through this. My arms are like, need a break. And then it's like, isn't that just it though? You look ahead of you and you think, you see in the distance how much further you have to go. But then you have to remember, take a minute and look behind you to see how far you've come. All the way back there. So we just have to remind ourselves when the going gets tough. Yeah, it looks like we got a long ways to go, but really, look how far we've come. We made it. Oh. And now, okay, here we go. Oh. Oh. Oh, no. I hate the sound of that. Okay, come on, girl. Oh, oh, the rocks. Oh, I don't. Oh. Oh. And there you have it. I don't know what it looked like. I'll probably get a laugh when I edit. Those are the stairs. I'm going to show you the dam. And this is Hoden Pile Dam. And we'll launch from here. See, it's very rocky. And right around the next bend, I think there's only one or two bends we have to go around, and then it's Woodpecker Creek, which is where I always launch from. I never launch from here, but today we are. So I'm just waiting to get this part over and then settle in and enjoy the rest of the river. Right up there is Woodpecker Creek, and that is usually where I launch from when I paddle this stretch. Let's come up on some fast water up here. So we have some few sections of fast water, I guess you could classify as class 1 rapids to get through before we settle down. I made it! Hi.